please first introduce yourself.
Okay, Mmamoloko Kubayi, Minister of Human Settlements in the Republic.
Can you provide us an overview of the key priorities of the Department of Human Settlements in the 2024-2025 financial year?
The current priorities we're continuing with what we, as you know, we're concluding the 5-year MTSF that has concluded in the 2019-2024 financial year. Those would be around title deeds restoration program, service sites, ensuring that we've got priority areas development that are integrated, and also just ensuring that we do increase on our first home financing, social housing, but also building on BNG. So we are concluding, but also now starting within this year, we're starting our new MTSF process, which is now called MTDP, developing new priorities, but also finalizing on our white paper policy.
And then the Title Deeds Restoration Program is a very important initiative. How is the department overcoming challenges to ensure that the rightful owners get their title deeds?
Look, there are several issues that we've got to deal with when you're dealing with Title Deeds Restoration Program. One is around the issue of formalization of informal communities or townships that municipalities have to do. In terms of that, we are able to do that, but once municipalities delay, then we have challenges. The old stock is the old townships where people used to stay, houses that were given to them during the apartheid time. Sometimes the challenge there is when there's disputes in the families, they're not agreeing who is the rightful owner, who's supposed to have, and that becomes an inhibitor in us being able to distribute the title deeds. But what we have done, we've partnered with the Master Office, which is under Department of Justice, that helps us in those dispute resolutions in wrapping up the states and estates where there's been deceased estates. And then the other issue, we've partnered with the deeds register in terms of fast tracking our issue. But more importantly, what we are looking at now is the issue of how do we manage the cost. The registration of title deeds through the conveyors is quite a lot of expensive, and it's costing us a lot of money. And we do think that if we didn't have to pay for lawyers, the conveyancers, I think we would have a lot that is happening. And that's why last year we launched the Title Deeds Friday. And with that program, we saw quite a lot of municipalities, MMCs, mayors, MECs being able to issue those title deeds into the rightful owners. So it's a very important program. It talks about the ownership, changing the landscape of ownership in the country. But again, it talks to the right to dignity, especially for women who were previously regarded as perpetual minors. Having to own a property for themselves is quite important.
I mean, I saw in the statement that military veterans are also another key issue. How does the department plan to accelerate the delivery of housing for the veterans?
Look, the issue of military veteran remains a challenge for us. We've not been able to do well, and that's why we have a discussion here at MinMec today. One of the issues is that we have a delay from DMV in terms of verifying the military veterans. Previously, it was one size fits all. You'd find that military veterans will say, I want a service site, I want to own or give me a subsidy so that I can get a first home financing, a house in terms of bonded. We didn't have that, in terms of that. So we have reviewed the policy to be able to look into military veterans, especially for service sites, first home financing, but closing the gap market. So those are some of the issues that we're dealing with, and we're ensuring that we can be able to accelerate. But we are also looking at partnering with DMV to just deal with the issue of verification. Would note that they have gone into an inclusive conference themselves in terms of those. They've agreed in terms of recognizing even those that didn't go to exile, who did not have force numbers, but how the SDU groups, how they deal with them, for example. So we're looking forward as well from our side as Human Settlement to be able to deal with that. One of the issues that we are raising here with MECs is that we are not able to fast track and increase the pace because some of them are not claiming back from DMPV. So the money is limited, so we want to ensure that that is done, but we increase the pace. So there's been quite a good progress, but we think we can do more.
And then briefly, MEC, please touch on your visit in the province today and tomorrow.
Yeah, we are here. Today it's a MINMEC. What we have taken a decision is that we rotate provinces in terms of MINMEC. Ordinarily, we would have started with visiting projects, and then out of those visiting projects, then we sit and go through our agenda. The intention in ongoing around the province and province by province is to allow MECs to showcase good practices so we can learn from each other as a sector, but also where there are weaknesses or where an MEC feels that they've got weaknesses where they need support, we can be able to provide support. So today here in this MINMEC, we're looking at several critical areas. The approval of our 5-year term strategic plan in terms of the targets for the sector. What is it that we are doing? How many houses we are going to build in the next 5 years of the 7th administration, and all those things. The title deeds, how many will issue, and all those things. The second thing is around the approval of the white paper policy. You understand that the department started the white paper last year. We are at the end, so it's important for MINMEC to approve the white paper so that we can take it to cabinet and finally publish it as a policy for our sector. Key milestone we're looking forward. Once the approval process has been done, we'll do a media briefing to address the nation on what the policy is about going forward. The other areas you said is military veterans performance, title deeds restoration program, but also looking at the vulnerable. We've issued a directive to provinces that the people who are 70 and above must be prioritized. So what we have done, we've quantified per province, and we are asking the provinces to account how many they've prioritized, if they've not, why they haven't prioritized. And the last area that we'll deal with is around performance of their grants, how many they've been able to spend on their grants, so if there are no performances, non-performances, why projects are not moving, so we're dealing with that as well. So this is a platform which is critical for us to hold each other accountable as a sector between minister and MECs and the metros, where we give grants to monitor progress on our work and to ensure that we can be able to deal with it. And the last point as well, we are reviewing, and we had to come here for MINMEC to approve the framework for emergency housing. MINMEC said, because National has taken through the responsibility, let's look at who plays what role. So we had to come here for that approval, which we have already sought from MINMEC. Then tomorrow, what we will do, we are focusing on performance of specifically Free State, province, and the municipality Mangaung. As you know, we go province by province to look at their performance. Where there is issues, we then provide support in terms of interventions.
All right, thank you so much for